Hi, Zizaran here with another video, and today we're going to talk a little bit about the Lilith fight and my death, etc. Not in real life, I'm still here. Unless I die between Scrya uploads this video and that. I died on my rogue, and, well, you can watch the clip. Oh, I fully died. I didn't see that I lost Teeth Death. I fully died. When did I actually lose Teeth Death? I didn't see when I lost it. I'm basically doing the Lilith fight, and I had forgotten cheat death, which is very important for the Lilith fight because she pretty much only has one-shots. Like, each wave is a one-shot, and on rogue it's extremely hard to tank. It does actually seem doable, but then you'd have extremely low damage and the fight would be very long as well. And she has a soft enrage where every second you're there, she gains more damage. And hover over the gear I was using real quick for Lilith. Using Temerity for more damage, since she one-shots anyway. And yeah, I simply forgot to use my Teeth Death Potion. I actually checked that I had one. I was like, alright, we're ready, we're good to go. And just went in. So I guess I'm the first person on hardcore to have tried Lilith with no Teeth Death Potion. Just not intentionally. I was actually against Cheat Death. I think it's a silly concept for hardcore. I think having something like Logout Macro and Scroll of Escape is already enough. You don't need Cheat Death on top of that. I've slightly changed my mind. I think having something for Cheat Death for really hard boss fights, I don't think it should apply to anything else. I think it would be cool if this was only for pinnacle boss fights, because what it does is it allows the fights to be so much harder, to the point where you can have that every ability one-shots, and that you need to basically learn a Guitar Hero pattern. Right? You need to know exactly how every boss move works and how it is. I think that's kind of cool. Obviously, the alternative is removing Cheat Death and having a lot easier bosses. I don't know if we would ever see a Lilith kill until there's more power creep. It would be even greater achievement if there was no Cheat Death and you had to practice on softcore, then log over to hardcore and you get one attempt. You die, you're out. That would obviously be a way bigger achievement. It's still a huge achievement. People have talked a lot about, is it harder or easier on hardcore? I mean, technically, if you practice on softcore and then do it on hardcore, then it's kind of easier on hardcore. You do technically have 2 one-shots on hardcore, whereas on softcore you do just have 1. The thing that makes it a lot harder on hardcore is the try time, because you have a 5-minute cooldown between each attempt. And if you've seen people practice on softcore, they die, they run right back in, right back in, right back in. There's no penalty in Diablo 4 for dying. Well, that's not true. You lose durability, but it's such a minuscule amount of gold that there's no penalty for dying. It's not like you lose XP or anything. And the greatest example I have that resonated with a lot of people is if you've ever played Beat Saber or Guitar Hero or anything like that, if the song has the difficult part at the end versus at the beginning, those are 2 incredibly different songs, right? The song that has it at the end is a lot harder. So, while it's a different form of difficulty, like obviously the fight isn't harder on hardcore than it is on softcore, you just get to attempt it less, right? That is still a form of difficulty. So it was really interesting. I think the fight is really cool. I really like it. I wish maybe that there was more things that you had to avoid. There are more things that I haven't tried in the second fight, but in the first fight, it's basically the big red waves. Everything else doesn't really matter that much. And I'm a big fan of bullet hell games as well. So I thought Lilith was super cool. It's very, very like, you really got to learn the fight. You got to do hundreds of attempts. I was on attempt 20 and I felt myself making progress, and that felt really good. In the start, I was only getting her to 80%, and then after like 10, 15 attempts, I was getting her to like 40. And I was like, ooh, new things I have to learn. And then I just completely cocked it up. Didn't use Teeth Death, ran in. So that's fine. At least I didn't die to a disconnect or something. We've seen so many level 100s die to disconnects. At least I died to a cock up. I'm obviously very embarrassed by it, but I'd way rather die to something like this. So, big fan of the fight. I might try to respec my sword. I really liked Rogue for it. I'm not going to make a new Rogue though. But I might try to respec my sword. I'm going to look at that today and see if it's doable. If not, I'll just move on with getting all the characters to 70. And I'll see about making like a specific Lilith killer. But it's... yeah, we'll see. We'll see. It's a very hard fight. I like that a lot. I love when there's something that I'm not sure I can do. And I remember, I've actually had this feeling about a lot of Path of Exile bosses too. Like, I remember first time I saw Ben killing Maven, I was like, fuck, can I even do this? And that's my favorite thing about ARPGs. There's actually things in Path of Exile I haven't done. Like, I haven't done deep delving in Path of Exile. I actually did a lot of firsts this league, but I love that personally. I know that's not for everybody. I know that there's a lot of people that think everyone should be able to do everything in a video game no matter what. There shouldn't be anything like super difficult. But I love when there's something only a few people can do, and when I can't do them, it's so cool because he really gives me something to aspire to and get better. So that was my rogue. I might make an update video on my rogue, but it's kind of harder to do now that it's dead. It was a lot of fun, enjoyed it, and on to the next. Hope you guys enjoyed the journey of the rogue. Oh, a quick thing I want to end the video with a lot of people were like, oh, you wasted 104 hours. It's like, right, but I had fun for the majority of those 104 hours. Like, there's maybe 20 or 30 hours where I was like, oh my god, I'm bored of this dungeon right now. But then I started group leveling and then I had a lot more fun again. But playing solo was pretty boring. But either way, really, really enjoyed it. Had a great time with it. And slaying my Echo Lilith, that's a good way to die. I'll end it there. Thanks for watching. Sub if you liked the video, but more importantly, try to die less than I do.